So we have this fancy new setup going on here. So if you are just listening on the podcast, we are putting these up on YouTube now, and you can stare at my face if you want to watch these. So I'm going to have to make sure that I'm not like staring off into space, which is typically what I do when I do these podcasts. Sometimes I sit here and I close my eyes and I'm just so wrapped up in what I'm telling you. And now I can't do that because people are staring at my face. I also probably need to look a little bit more presentable when I do podcasts. Or not, why don't we just show up the way we're supposed, like I do all the time? Okay, so we are kicking off a series coming up here on products. So we're going to be talking about product recommendations, things you should or should not necessarily should or shouldn't use, but things to look for in your products. So we're going to be covering all sorts of stuff. We're going to be covering makeup. We're going to be covering skincare. We're going to be covering personal care products. We're going to be covering tampons, pads. We're going to be covering coffee, protein powder, laundry detergent, face lotions, body care, hair care. So we're going to be diving deep into the world of toxins and fingers crossed. I'm going to cross all my fingers here. I really want to bring on a toxicologist to talk even more about this, but I feel like this whole series needs to be kicked off about perfection because this is what I think happens. We start learning about all of these things that can be potentially harmful for us. We hear about X, Y, and Z can hurt you, and all of a sudden we just start getting paranoid and you're scared to use anything. And then we try to hit this set of perfection. And then when we don't get it, we get so stressed about it. And so I think we need a whole episode on this. Okay. So are you ready? Let's start. Number one, unless you are going to go live on a different planet and you're going to bubble wrap yourself and go live on a different planet, you are never going to be 100% toxin free. It is not going to happen. Let go of it. Not going to happen. It isn't. It isn't. So stop trying to be like, I will be the one person to do it. You can't, because of our air quality, our soil, like even glyphosate is in the rainwater. I mean, you guys, you can't do it. Okay. So instead of, freaking out and trying to be perfect, we don't want to do that. We also don't want to do the opposite of like, well, if I can't be completely 100% toxin free, then I am just going to do nothing. I'm going to do nothing. Well, that's not such a great idea either. Okay. So when it comes to looking at our overall health, okay, when it comes to supporting our bodies, there has to be this happy medium. Okay. So we know we can't be perfect, but we know how important all of this is. So there has to be basically pick your poison type of a balance. You aren't going to be 100% toxin free. So you have to control what you can control and you have to let go of the rest. Okay. So, can you control the air when you are walking outside? Like, let's say you live in a city. No, you can't. Okay. So, maybe if you live in the city, maybe something that you can control and a good investment for you is an air purifier in your house. But maybe you live out in the country and you can smell your cow poo from your house. I'm kidding. I am kidding. Maybe you don't need an air purifier. Okay. So it's like you really need to figure out, what do you need to help support your body? What can you control? What is in the budget? And I think that health is so important. So take care of your health now, focus on your health now before it becomes debilitating and you are forced to pay attention to it. I know so often we're like, yeah, I'm busy, but like, I don't have time to balance my blood sugar. I don't have time. I don't have time to focus on my stress management. I don't have time. I don't have time. We always say that. But guess what? When you are flat on your back because of a debilitating migraine, or you are flat on your back because of your period cramps, or you're puking over the toilet, or you are unfortunately maybe struggling with infertility, or maybe you are have you missing cycles and you're like, I don't know where they are, or maybe menopause came and just like dropped a ton of bricks on you, unfortunately, we're forced to take care of our health then, because our health is literally the most important thing. It's like we don't care about our health until you are so sick that your health is forcing you to take care of it in order for you to just function. So that's where all of these things come into play. And I know and that's why we take care of them now before it becomes crazy. Okay. So it's important, but you know what also is important? Reducing stress, right? So control what you can control, let go of the rest. I'm going to say this. I'm going to just keep saying it. I'm going to keep saying it. Okay. Because I think transferring over to a non toxic lifestyle is a slow process. If you try and do it tomorrow, it's not going to work. Because like we can't afford to do that, or we choose not to afford to do that because we choose to buy food. It's one step at a time. So it's as you run out of products, maybe you replace with new ones. We have some really, really, really interesting things coming up in podcast episodes, and I don't want to drop it yet, but I'm so excited about them. But it's a slow transition for most people. And so I think awareness is key. Awareness is step one. And then you budget in things and you switch as you can. Okay. I in the order of importance of lowering our toxic intake, I think that everybody should read the book It Starts with the Egg. I think that this book is just incredibly informative on how toxins literally just affect egg quality and conception and fertility. And we all know that even if you aren't trying to get pregnant, fertility is a sign of your health, right? So your ovulation and your period, all of this are a sign of your health. So it's important to make sure that everything is flowing the way we need it to. Okay. So I think everyone should read that book. I think it's a good book. And it talks so much about toxins in terms of affecting hormones and egg quality. But the other thing too is in terms of US, if you are someone that is listening from the UK or Europe, your quality of food and quality of makeup is so much better than the US. Poop on the US's like quality of stuff. Like the amount of toxins that we allow into our skincare and makeup is honestly, it's wrong. It's wrong. And that makes us as consumers have to be just so mindful, and choose wisely, because the companies are not doing it for us. Some are very diligent, and they share their heavy metal testing, and they share their process of manufacturing, and they want to be transparent. But most of that they started because they also were really sick and they were forced to do that. As a whole, like cosmetics and beauty and health is just in the US, the choosing is pretty bad, which is really kind of sad. um so it's really slowly switching things over, prioritizing what you need to do first, and going and letting go of the rest. Because if you, let's say you're out with friends and you want to have a glass of alcohol, and maybe you're someone that really can't drink alcohol, okay, so maybe you're going to choose something else. But maybe you're someone that likes to have an occasional glass of alcohol, but at the same time you're like so worried about what's in it and how it's going to affect you, and you're so stressed about the decision to drink it and not to drink it and what's going on, that you literally cause more damage to your health by all of that stress than you would if you just drink the alcohol. So that's where I think it's important to pay attention to this balance. Okay. So, as we kick off this series and we talk about the toxins and we talk about what's in it, I want you to listen with a mind of like, okay, Leah, I understand. And as I finish out this makeup product that is full of all this horrible stuff, I'm going to choose one that is better. But just finish it out. Don't throw it away. You don't have to. I mean, if you want to, you can, but you don't have to. Finish it out. When it's done, we'll make another choice. Okay. So it's slowly switching these things out, which is really, really important here, because that's going to be more sustainable as well. So I think that's important. And then also picking your poison, right? So control the things that you can control. I dye my hair, which you can't really tell because we're like back at our natural color right now, but I typically get highlights. And that's something that I choose to do. I do highlights. I like highlights because like it's not touching my scalp when they lay it. So then you wash it out and it's not as concentrated, but I do get highlights, and I'm not saying those are non-toxic. Those are 100% toxic, right? But my skincare and my makeup and my hair care and my air quality and my food, all non-toxic. I've lowered my toxic intake there. So it's choosing where you are going to do X, Y, and Z, because you can't do all of them, right? You can't have toxins coming in from everywhere. That's too overloaded on our body, okay? Too much. Too much. But maybe you can't do everything, right? So maybe for you, like your one toxic trait, I'm not talking personality, I'm saying like intake of toxins, is you have to get your nails done. Like that is just brings you so much joy. Okay. So maybe you're going to do that, but like you're going to not do the rest of the things. You're going to make sure everything else is non-toxic. Okay? So it's controlling what you can control, okay? Also, the other thing to think about is, what are the things that you use the most? Like, I'm going to be honest here, you guys. Okay, maybe I'm biased, but I think like hair care, body care, skin care, and makeup are like top priority for becoming non-toxic. Not low tox, like non-toxic. Because if you are wearing makeup every day, that's every single day that's going on your skin. What you're putting on your skin is absorbed 60% into your bloodstream in under 30 seconds. That's a lot. And if you're like slathering on those toxins, that's a lot of toxins. Same thing with your skincare, same with your body care. That's something you're using every single day. Your skin is your largest organ. Okay, so I know people are like, oh, my skincare and my makeup is like lower toxin. This is where greenwashing gets you, because it looks good. They're like, we're free of like X, Y, and Z. And then you flip it over and you look at the ingredients and you go, ooh, it has a lot of stuff in it. Okay, so that's something to consider. And then also, when it comes in terms of ingredients in these products, you can't always get everything to be 100% perfect. Like maybe all of the ingredients are good, but it's packaged in plastic or something like that, So you also have to make priorities in terms of like your situation and budgeting. So this is all to say, think about where you consume the most toxins. That's probably where you want to start in lowering your toxic intake. And then also, you have to take into effect like budgeting, and then you also have to take into like letting go of the stress. You have to let go of the stress. You can't be perfect. You can't be perfect. Okay. So I'm not sure if we're gonna link it. We probably will. We'll put our switch and ditch guide, we'll put into the show notes so you guys can look at it. So the switch and ditch guide is um a bunch of different brands that in different categories. So like skincare or makeup or body care or laundry detergent. And it has a bunch of different brands that are in the non-toxic range. And I use different brands and give you those options so that you can look at that and make some choices on what you want to bring. And so what we're going to be doing as we break down these different categories in this series is we're going to be going through these different categories, and I'm going to be telling you, like right now the switch and ditch guide just has brands, right? It has like switch and ditch, right? But I want to go over ingredients with you and be like, hey, these are ingredients you need to watch for, and these are ingredients like on a scale of 1 to 10, like this is how much we really hate this one and this is how much we hate this one. Because then you as an informer, you as a consumer can make an informed decision based off of those ingredients instead of just like, Leah likes the product. That's not very educational. Even though you're like, Leah likes the product, cool. Like I want you to know why I like the product, and also Leah's not a chemist, so We're going to start there. So I'm coming at it from like a consumer standpoint and as someone who works with women with hormones all the time and I see the effect of toxic products on them all the time. So I'm not coming at here being like, let me give you the molecular breakdown of XYZ, because Leah's not a chemist. So I'm just going to be telling you, hey, these are ingredients. These are the side effects of these ingredients. Obviously this is how, we probably see that presented in labs, etc. But I am going to also tell you I don't know everything. And I'm learning this along with you. I will tell you off the bat, I 100% can't pronounce these names. I can recognize them when I see them in a label and I know what they stand for and I know what they mean, but like ask me to pronounce it, I'm going to be like, garbage is going to come out of my mouth. I don't know how to pronounce these things. So bear with me. So we're always going to put what I talk about in the show notes because nobody wants to listen to Leah. Like nobody wants to try and find these labels based off of my pronunciation. No, man. Okay, so we'll put them always in the show notes. And also, we can't be perfect, and I'm not a chemist, and please give Leah grace as we go through this because I am always learning as new studies come out too. So it's like, for example, I found this makeup product that I loved. It had great performance. It had phenomenal ingredients, great company. And then I found a test that was done third party on them, and they're full of PFAS, which are those forever chemicals that your body can't get rid of. And it was through their manufacturing process that was getting in the product. And I'm like, I was so bummed. On a scale of 1 to 10, I was bummed like a 12 because I really liked the product. And so I'm always learning, so if you know information about, a company that I didn't, reveal in the episode, please don't kill me. Let's start with please don't kill me, but please maybe respectfully share that so I can update things as we find things out. And I know that, again, I know I'm not perfect. I know I'm not perfect, and I'm going to let go of the stress of being perfect, and I'm going to do the best that I can, and I'm with the ingredients and the knowledge that I have, and I'm going to share that with you, so that we can continue to learn and, be as non-toxic as we can. But that's my disclaimer. And also, I just want you to I want you to understand that we're not going to be perfect. So it's about choosing what you can, doing what you can, and let go of the rest. Okay? I will tell you as I go through things, I will tell you, like, guys, this should be a very high priority for non-toxic because of like exposure or certain ingredients. I will tell you those things. So, I'm not just like throwing to you the wolves. Okay. That's it. That's all I got for today.